Hello and welcome to my channel Home Remedies, and I'm glad that you're able to join me today. Okay, in this channel, the idea is to look at many making solutions that can help you in your journey to financial success, and also things that can help you save money as well, which also contribute along the way to the end goal, which is ultimately to make some money. I can talk from experience myself because I've been there. Tried so many things, a lot of things have failed, a lot of things not gone according to the way I thought it should go. I've had some successes, but I want to share with you things that have worked for me. Then hopefully you get an idea of what potentially could also work for you. Obviously I'm not saying everybody's the same, it depends on the level of work you put in and how hard you're able to push it. But I've looked at things like affiliate marketing. You may go online and things compared to maybe thousands of dollars per day. It's not always the case. Sometimes it turns out the only people that really make the money are the people pushing the product. When you put people in how they make their money, and they make a career of that. I don't mind trying products and working hard if they work, but the worst thing is to try products and then you put all this effort and time into it. When you find out, it's just a waste of your time. I'd rather try a product I know is going to be successful, get any results, and put my time and effort and all my time into that, which is more constructive for me. And it's not always easy, is it? If you look at a product when they come off the air, you might go on to sites like Wirecard, or get email through the inbox, which sounds very attractive and draw you in like a magnet. You click on there and it gives you all the screenshots of all the money that they're making, which sometimes isn't real. They can falsify these figures. But then you go in and you set a sales page and it's just giving you all the promises in the world, we make things that we work. You just do a button, and you realise you isn't the case. But, we all want a shortcut, don't we? Sometimes we don't want to work. We just want the instant gratification. So we buy the product and you find that it's nothing like what you were told it's going to be. Then sometimes you have to upgrade to another stage, which is called an OPO, and then you find that the front end product won't work unless you upgrade, and you spend more money. And then the upgrade still doesn't produce any better results at all. Then you've lost money. That product that sits on the shelf, and then you move on to the next thing. So it's a spiral basically. You just buy one product after another in the hope that you find something that works. And in the long run, you're just wasting your time. When you begin doing something more constructive. Another thing, in terms of affiliate marketing, another thing to bear in mind is there's so many ways to make money online. There's so many angles. I've tried so many things. I've tried affiliate marketing. I've tried YouTube, where you put links into your videos, and someone watches the video and they can be directed to a sales product. That does work to a certain degree. And then there's match testing. I find that the most difficult. I do have a video on my site about match testing as well. And it's whereby it's not really gambling in the sense that it's where you're given offers and stuff later when you sign up. And then they might give you a free bet, say $30, $50 if you sign up with them, then you can use that. And then the free bet, you're not really losing any money, and you can then sometimes use a method to actually double that money. So that's the quickest way I found to actually get calculation to make some money. I'm just touching on these things, but I'll go more in depth later in the future videos and those things that I've learned. I've tried eBay, which I've had some relative success with. You don't have to talk to anybody really, you just put the product on there itself. So it's not hard to I've tried Amazon, I've had some success with that as well. But I think the thing that really has worked for me is cryptocurrency. You know, it's something that I wasn't aware of previously, which I had. You know, then I've been a lot further on in my journey with that. But cryptocurrencies, in particular Bitcoin, where you go into a different world of currency. It's not currency as we know, but it's a digital asset. And over a period of time, okay, you'll gain. At the moment, it's very volatile and can put people off. But in my experience, I've gained more than I've lost. I mean, prices go up and goes down, but it tends to go up more than it goes down. So you will actually benefit, and it's always increasing year on year. And so if you'd invested a couple of years ago, you probably would have doubled your money. For instance, I put in a couple of thousand, and within a few months I gained an extra 1,000 on top. So that's a fantastic rate of return compared to if you invest in that in stocks instead, or leaving it in the bank, where you get zero interest these days. Obviously there is a bit of volatility. Obviously, by no means is it financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor to do your own research, but this is a method for us to make relatively quick money. Sometimes it can shoot up very quickly, sometimes it will stay on. It depends on what we call here in the bear market or bull market. We put coin on cryptocurrency, we tend to work in 4-year cycles, so every 4 years it comes around where you tend to make more money. So I will do a video on cryptocurrency as well, where I show you some tips and tricks. I mean, a lot of people who tend to trade cryptocurrency on the markets. You know, if it's saying that they'll look to invest their money, if it's saying that, and hope for using rewards. But I tend to do what's called hodling, where I hold on to the money that's in the account and appreciates over time. And the way to do it as well, when it dips, you just buy. When it goes up, you buy a little bit. That's called dollar cost averaging. So you don't feel it. The worst thing to do is buy it when it's really high. Get in when it's low. When the price drops down, buy a little bit, so you don't feel it too much. So that's the best way to do it. So there are other cryptocurrencies as well, apart from Bitcoin, where you can go and you have to be very careful, because people tend to promote these other products when they're very high, and it's called FOMO winning, so fear of missing out. So sometimes when something's going up, you think, well, get in there before it goes too high, so I missed the boat. But that's the worst time you can get in, because when you get in, it's going up, and it tends to shoot back, it's going to go back down straight away. So the best thing is to get in when it's really low down in price, and it goes up. I mean, I've invested in a few of those. It's a bit of hit and miss as well, because there's so many altcoins out there, people tend to be pulling predictions. And sometimes you could make a bad investment. You know, sometimes if you look on YouTube, there are other people pushing certain products, certain cryptocurrencies. Some of them might have a vested interest in there. They maybe paid, you know, one of the owners. And then obviously they're going to make money from it, so be very careful. It's really kind of fine reputable YouTube. I do can give you good advice and the best points to invest in. Later on I can do another video going from it to the ones that I follow, and I've done relatively well from following them. You know, so that's my journey in a sense, in terms of what's worked for me and what hasn't worked for me. I think a lot of people do a lot about email marketing and then using the list. I think that's going to be true, because once you've got your own list, you're in control of making your own money. You know, you're not at the mercy of bigger corporations that can shut you down. I mean, you have a YouTube channel, you're successful, and they can shut you down. Yeah, and then that's it. You know what you built, if it's just gone, you know, sit you down off a limb. And then if you have a Twitter account, same thing. 50% down, and then you use that traffic that you have, those views. So if you've got your list, that's yours. You own that. You're not at the mercy of a big corporation. So you can still promote products, send out emails. This is obviously the ultimate goal, and you've got that for years to come. No one can take that away from you. Okay. So another reason I've set the channel as well, not so much just focusing on making money and money saving, which is good, but looking at ways you can utilize products and services online as well, things that you can use to coach you on your journey. So, video editing, give myself some video editing and make videos, editing it, using in product, which is usability on the YouTube channel, and maybe some tweaks if you want. So I've done a video on that, and I can do further things. And instead of using certain products like Excel, where there's a good record of what you're doing, keep promoting certain products, what your revenue is without going into any expenditure. So that's all useful. Trying to think of some other examples. Downloading certain videos. You might have to download videos, edit them, then re-upload them. So it's just learning different platforms you can download videos. If it might mean downloading a video from YouTube, repurposing it, then re-uploading it. Obviously you've got the rights to it, and that's something that's allowable with the YouTube terms and conditions. I mean, these sort of things might seem basic, but some people don't know how to do it. They just want to get started. They don't have the first clue about what's best for them, and the way it should work for them. So, if you want to look at other areas, send me an email message or message on YouTube and I'll respond, simply where I can look at it and help. Also, what I find useful as well is just giving some time to yourself. Get overwhelming sometimes when you're in an environment where it's busy and there's other things going through your mind. Just go for a walk, get exercise, clear your mind, try and eat healthy as possible. Get your vitamins, and it gives you inspiration and you can find that areas in your life that you can work on. To set some time for yourself, focus on what you need, that's amazing. And obviously, you don't always have to first day. Start things like knock it down, get back on a feet. Push yourself and carry on. Just keep them motivated. It's very easy when you try something and you fail. To give up, and it doesn't work. You look at the people that does work for them, so there's no reason why it doesn't work for them. We all have the same drive. And it might take longer for some of us, based on our circumstances, the resources that we have available, but I think we're all heading in the same direction. Some will get there sooner than others, but eventually we do get there, so just keep at it. Keep working and try to achieve your aims. We'll just have a goal. If you're in a job that you're not happy with, and you want to do something else, change your life, then the only one that can do that is you. No one else is going to do it for you. So you can motivate yourself to get back on that bike again. Pedaling. Okay. To get there. Sometimes people do buy expensive courses, which promise the world. It's not always the case. Sometimes you might find expensive courses, not really. It's just made out to be a lot of money and go nowhere. You think that's a shortcut, but not necessarily from my experience. And sometimes you can look at YouTube videos and for a lot more. There are some YouTubers that I gain more from watching their information free than actually buy it. Compared to my cost of what they do. So bear that in mind. Right. And I tend to look at the reviews to see what reviews can say. Obviously not all the reviews are genuine, sometimes you mistake reviews can't push the product. Okay, another way that I did touch on earlier that is very lucrative for making money online is eBay. Now, eBay, you can start with basic. It's not a case where you really have to spend a lot of money to invest. You can just look for things around the house that you want to get rid of, things that you don't use or you might not need just at the moment, and just sell it online. That's what I did initially to get started. I just found some items around the house, just put it online, made a few dollars or pounds as it were for you in the UK, and then use that money to reinvest and buy stock. Then you can then build up in that manner. Okay, same thing with Amazon. Buy a few items after you've made the money initially. Okay, and then you can scale up. There are softwares out there that can actually identify cheap items on, for instance, Amazon compared to eBay. Okay, so you'll buy those items from Amazon after you list them on eBay, so it's drop shipping. So basically what you do, the software identify cheap items on Amazon, okay, which will be cheaper than eBay. So you list those items on eBay. Once they sell, then you just go into Amazon, your account on Amazon, and ship those items directly from your Amazon account to the buyer on eBay. That way you don't have to hold any stock. It's cheaper and you're not out of pocket before the item's sold. So there's zero risk to you. Okay. I do believe though that new eBay accounts, there is a time period of 3 months, I believe, that you have to build up first before you may get paid. But just look at it as an investment in your business. Okay. I did mention that there are these particular softwares that could obviously identify the deals between eBay and Amazon. The only thing with those is that it can be a bit tricky. If you get flagged, then eBay can put your listings right down at the bottom so they don't get shown up in the same way as you would have had them listed. They've kind of scale it down. So if you could avoid overdoing the software, then that's the best solution. I tried this particular software myself and I've had some success, but you have to do it very carefully, so I mentioned you don't get these listed. Another option, if you did not want to use use eBay or Amazon, is Facebook. So that's a very good way to find things that you may have around the house or items that you want to get rid of. It could be items that don't have to be in the best condition. I've sold second-hand items that have been lying around the house. People don't mind if it's too old, as long as it's workable, it works, and they're getting a bargain for it, and that item can be used, so it's not an issue. Okay, so for instance, I've sold bikes, I've sold old gaming consoles, retro games that people still like those as collector's items. I've sold toys, which are very popular on Facebook, and a lot of the items I sold, people come to me, so I don't actually then have to spend the money on the postage as I would with, say, eBay or Amazon. So they'll come to me, and then we'll do the transaction, which is handy. So with the advantages of Facebook, I found as well, is that you can list the items pretty fast. You don't have to go through a lot of different categories to put it on. And people will ring you up if they need further information, and you can just basically elaborate on the item itself. And it's quite a good process, and just save time. It's mainly people in the local area that might want the item that will come to you. And one of the other ways I found is a good method to make some money is car boot sales. It's where, if you're not familiar with car boot sales, you have items around the house, likewise, that you want to get rid of. Just put them in your car, book a pitch, they call it, you pay some money, then you set up your items, and people walking around will then hopefully come to you and they'll purchase the items. It's a bit
way to make money. If you've got enough variety of items, I find you could specialise in certain items, maybe like clothes, like toys, for instance, but you could initially, a variety of items. That way you've got more potential to sell, diversifying a few things. So I've sold, in the car boot sales, I've sold toys, I've sold clothes, I have sold hardware, like old electrical items, like cameras, old phones, things I don't need that are lying around the house, and I've done quite well. So the advantage as well, obviously, is selling the items. You also clear out the house. It does make space, for things that are scattering dust. And the money you make, obviously it's a good bit of money, or that's a bit of extra income, disposable income, if you just want to use it to buy a few extra things. Okay. I mean, it might not necessarily make you a ton of money, but you can build up over a period of weeks. It does build up, and before you know it, you've got a nice bit. Obviously, the main objective is to cover your costs, the cost of actually setting up the entrance fee. But some days are better than others. It depends. Obviously, the better the weather, the more people come out. So it's always good to choose a day which potentially would be good if you look at the forecast to see what the weather's going to be like. Because no one's going to turn up on a rainy day. That's going to obviously reduce your potential to sell. Okay. So they're kind of the things I've tried and done. And you've got nothing really to lose because you're not buying a load of stock or spending tons of money on items, that are just going to be there, And what I tend to do is look around as well. I walk around the car boot sales, see what other people are selling. That'll give me an idea of what's good and what's selling. Sometimes you might have to put your prices down to undercut other people so that you get your items sold a bit faster. But obviously, if I'm selling things around the house and I put the prices a bit lower, I'm not really losing out because it's items that were there anyway. It's not like I bought the item to sell and I'm potentially losing out on the profit. So that's something you can bear in mind as well. Okay. Consistency is a key. Find some things that won't sell a particular week, but it will sell maybe the following week or the week after. There's no logic. It's having the right person there at the right time that may want that item. So that's something to consider. Just be positive and keep working. And what I just wanted to instill as well regarding the online business is that obviously it can be quite lucrative working from home. It's a case where you can probably do a 9-to-5 job and also work from home as well to supplement your income. And then once the online work's built up enough, then you can eventually give up your job. But obviously there's a lot of hard work in between. That's just keeping motivated and maybe doing a bit in the morning, a bit in the evening, and you come home, some at the weekend. Just being consistent is the key, so you get into that routine and that mindset. Okay, which is all the more important. Okay, and just surrounding yourself by positive people. If you've got a partner that's supportive of you, then that helps. Sometimes you don't want to mention what you're doing because some people could be negative, then that puts you off as well. It doesn't give you the incentive to really carry on. People say, well, why don't you stick to a normal 9-to-5 job? There's more stability in there. But some people, some want more than this 9-to-5 job. Want something that we can build and call our own. We're working for ourselves, rather than working for somebody else and just putting money into their pockets and making them rich. There's no reason why we can't then be that person that's calling the shots. Okay. To me, an ideal business would be mainly if I'm working it myself, but I do have the potential then to outsource maybe some of the work to virtual assistants rather than having someone physically there. Virtual assistants good because if you're working from home, you don't have to hire staff physically to work in your premises or hire a building where the outlays are a lot more, the overheads are a lot more. You've got rent rates to pay on that building. So brick and mortar buildings which can be lucrative, but especially in a pandemic now, a lot of big companies are finding that it's more cost effective to work from home, to have operations from people's houses and workers from home. Then you haven't got all that rent to pay running a building, which I think is a bit of an eye-opener now. And I can see why that could be the way forward. Okay, and you haven't got the overheads of going into work, the petrol that you have to pay. You haven't got travel costs, which is another factor to bear in mind as well. It's just obviously keeping motivated when you're working from home and not getting too down, being isolated from other people, but you might find that it's lucrative in terms of being able to focus and concentrate, and it can be more productive working from home, saving all that travel, whereas it can be quite tiring. Okay, plus you can be in contact with colleagues virtually as well. If you've got the right connections at home, once you've got the internet there, then it sky's the limit. And it's the same process if you're working from home and running an online business as well. No different when you're doing your own thing. So, just a few of the tips that I found works for me very well. And, I've made mistakes along the way. I'm not saying that. It's part and parcel of the online business. You try things, you make a mistake, you fall down, dust yourself off, and then get up, and then start again from the beginning, and do things a bit different. No one really, I don't think, can just go straight in, be successful. You have to learn by mistakes. Even the biggest entrepreneurs that make the most money, they've stumbled along the way. They've had problems where, things haven't worked out. You just learn from that, start again. You can lose money potentially, but it's just managing your risk. Just seeing what you've done wrong, going back and analysing it, and then taking a different course of action. Okay, which is what you need to do. One thing I tend to do as well when I'm out and about, is more geared to the money making side as well. If you're in stores, look at what they're selling. Sometimes you can go to a cheaper shop. You can scan the items and barcodes, and then that will match up with prices in the main retailers, and prices for, say, Amazon and eBay, and you can actually get some very good bargain, and then resell those online again, which is the ideal thing. Okay, just some reflection as well. What my main aim is to do as well is a series of videos where you can look over my shoulder and gain some ideas into what I'm doing. Okay, so all very well see me sitting here talking, but we'll see some direct videos which will teach you directly what to do. Okay, it's nothing more positive than actually looking at someone doing what they say, and following them online, which I think will be beneficial. Okay, I like helping people, giving free information and advice. Okay. Because it will give me a hand along the way with our journey. And I find when I've looked at videos and I've learned a lot, there's some people I've learned from where it's free, I've not paid a penny, and I've learned more than buying some courses where they charge a fortune. And as I said earlier, it's the people that sell these courses, they're the ones making the money. People that buy it, unfortunately, these courses are rubbish. Not gain anything from it, and I know from experience. Okay, and affiliates pushing a lot of this rubbish as well. Telling you it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, you'll make X amounts of money, where nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, you'd be more out of pocket. Basically just chasing the next shiny silver object. Okay, but as I mentioned as well, I found cryptocurrencies the best way to make online income, and I'll go further into that in my future videos. Okay, that'll be one of the areas I think I'll do an over the shoulder example for you. Okay, so you can see directly some of the sites I've used, some of the strategies I've used, and the ways I've gone ahead with that. Okay, so that. Yes, just reiterating what I've mentioned previously in my videos. It's where certain keywords get more attention than others. Why are keywords important? As I said, don't always know what is going to sell straight away. If you're, for instance, promoting a product, you might be affiliate marketing, promoting a particular product. You might say weight loss, diet, keep fit, relationships. You don't always know what keywords will be successful. You might have a series of keywords and you don't sell anything. But then you can look at the stats and see which keywords got the most responses. If you could be doing like a broad match where you don't have a specific keyword, for instance, you might say the product might be about weight loss, and you might put in a keyword saying weight loss, but it's broad match, so someone could type in how to lose weight or can I lose weight, for instance, and because you've got a broad match, then someone will pick up on that. Your keyword will still be up there in their search terms, and then you can then look at what they search for your AdWords or Google Words account. Okay, I'll go into more detail. I'm just giving you a broad outline. But if it's a phrase match, it's more fine-tuned or exact match, that's different. Because then after, when you get the broad match details and what people are looking for in terms of their keywords, then you can fine-tune it down into specific exact match terms, and that's when you really start moving. Another area I found useful in terms of building your list, which is useful to target your subscribers with certain products, is the solo ones. Companies like Udemy, you can go on and people have a list on their subscribers that you can then promote products to. They'll then send those emails out to their list. So you, for instance, might want to be promoting diet or weight loss or something like a relationship niche or woodworking niche, and they'll send these emails out to their clients, and then you can also set up your own autoresponder to capture those emails. Then you grow your list that way, and at the same time you can have the potential of selling some product. And that way you grow your list. It can vary between, say, 40 cents to $2. It depends on the quality. Obviously, the better the quality of the list, the more it's going to cost you, but it can be worth it in the long run to spend that money. So you're not skimping on the quality and wasting your money. So, which is a fault, it's basically this fault exercise, not getting anywhere. So I've used solo ads in the past, and I found that quite cost effective. I've managed to grow a list. Another way I found to grow the list is using AdWords, Bing, Google. So you go to a site like Get Response, Weber, set up an autoresponder where someone will go to a landing page. Say there's an offer for, I don't know, diet, keto. You don't send them directly to the offer, you send them to a landing page to warm them up. And the advantage of that is they can see a bit of information about the product, and then at the same time they'll enter their email address, then you can divert them to the product page. It could be they're interested in diet, and then they look at your ad on Bing or Google, and they can see, how to lose weight, and then they'll think, this is interesting. I go in, and then they'll see your landing page, and they read it, think, not brilliant. You'll say, please enter your email address to get details, or get further information, or to get the solution. So they enter an email, there's bang, you've caught them. I mean, there are ways you can retarget them as well, but I'm not going into it just here, but it's whereby, if they go online again to different sites, then your ad will pop up again, and so it will then remind them. Sometimes you have to chase them a few times before they buy. But initially, when you're just getting started out, that's the best way to do it. With your autoresponder, and you can capture their email. Then you can go back in at some point and then sell to that client again. As I said, having a list is the best thing. No one can take that away from you. You know, you can have a YouTube account where you're doing really well and selling it, and then the rug can be pulled under you. I watched the guru on YouTube that I follow now and then, and she was saying that some of her family members who she set up accounts for had their subscription demonetized, so their channel demonetized. So it just shows, you know, you are not in control when, you know, a big corporation can just ban you at a whim, even on Twitter, for instance. But that email list is yours to do with as you please. Okay, obviously people can take you off the list, but you can build it up again. You know, if someone unsubscribes, you know, no problem, you can build it up again. But it can be an advantage if someone takes you off the list. At least you know they're not serious about your products that you have to offer. They don't want to be marketed to. And the advantage is that it saves you money, because the bigger your list, the more you pay in subscriptions to the autoresponder company, whether it be GoDaddy, Aweber, you know, MailChimp is one that comes to mind. So it does streamline your costs somewhat. Okay, that's the way to look at it as well. Okay. I just wanted to touch on cryptocurrencies again as well, which is something that I've been doing recently as well. Traditionally, the months of March are not so brilliant for cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin in particular, due to certain big institutions, how they manipulate the market to their advantage. So it has suppressed the market a little bit. But going into the months of April, May, which has traditionally been better months where the market's been allowed more flexibility, then we should see some increases, and that's where we can make our money a lot faster. Okay, and at some point there's only a finite amount of cryptocurrency, so there will come a point where, you know, I think that manipulation can't last forever, and then obviously we can then gain control of be a proper market, you know, because it is unregulated at the moment, you know, but it is safe because it's no worse than the economy with the inflation and spiraling interest rates, you know. So in the long term, you know, we will benefit from that increase. And if you look at the stats year in, year out, the returns from crypto have grown rather than decreased. So it's a safe platform in my mind. Okay. At some point, I've fallen victim to the scenario where the price of Bitcoin has fallen, and I've sold, and then I've realised that I've made a mistake, because then the price has started rising back up again, and I wish I stayed in there. And that's now I've been in crypto a bit longer, I realise that is a failed strategy. Strategy is to hang in there, because it does fluctuate. It can drop down and fall, but it doesn't fall as fast as it rises. It rises over a period of time a lot more, so you will gain a lot more financially. And I see it as a long-term investment. There are what you call altcoins, where you can make a very fast return. You know, sometimes they 10x, 20x their value, but there's so many out there, you don't always know which ones to go for. And you have to be in the market very early to actually benefit. Sometimes you're going at the top when it's rising up there. That's the worst time to get in, because it's what you call FOMO in, fear of missing out. So you try and get in when it's going up there, and then it can suddenly plunge, and then you're selling at a loss, and then you're chasing the next thing, and then the spiral just continues. It's getting when it's down lows, and if the market's not so good, the price dips, then that's the time to get in, and then you make your money as it goes up, which is called dollar cost averaging, which is the way to go with these particular cryptos. As I said, I'm in it for the long haul, you know, especially with the Bitcoin. It's not a quick get rich scheme all the time. Sometimes it can start moving very fast, but other times it can stagnate, move up, go down, move up a bit. But overall, you know, I've gained more than I've lost. I've not really lost. If I've lost any money in the short term, I've gained it back by moving as it moves up. And the time to buy when it's low is So if you jump in when it's high, that's the time you will lose if it does go back down. But the way it's possibly looking to go now, say with like $50,000, $60,000, all accounts, it's predicted maybe go up to 100,000. So even if you bought at 70, and the potential for it to go higher is there, then it's still worth getting on at this stage. Whereas some other altcoins are more short term, so it's not really worth getting on to those when they're high, because they do have a tendency to fall back very fast. Whereas the bitcoins are more stable, so not stable in a sense, but it's more lucrative, and it's more of a long-term stability. Right, short term it does fluctuate and it's very volatile, but more of a long-term stability option if you're looking to make money. And you also have to be. It's also a mindset when you get in crypto and you look at the charts and you see, oh, it's going down. There's a tendency to be worried and panic, but it's a mindset. You have to be prepared to stay in there and stick in there. Strong up there mentally, that's half the battle, and you make your money. As I like to feel, I'm a hodler. I like to hold the money in there long term and build up, whereas people like to trade it. If you're good, you can trade and make money, but then if you're not that good or you're not experienced, you can lose it. So, overall, you can lose more than you make. If you just hold it, buy when it's cheap, and it rises, then that's a safe bet. It takes a bit longer, that route, in terms of making the money, but in the end, you've got that peace of mind. You're not always following the market. Is it going to go up? Is it going down? Should I buy? Should I sell? We're seeing people put lots of money on the expectation that it's going to keep rising and rising, and if it just drops, then you've lost it, or you get wiped out, or you wrecked, as they say in the terminology. So I just like to hold and play it safe. At some point, I probably will trade. It's just something I need to focus on, because there's so many different ways to trade, and it's just finding the technique that works best for you. But if I can make money without trading and not doing any work, just making that as passive income, then I'm quite happy. And it's always important to take a bit of profit along the way. No harm in that. Especially if you're trading, and people do advise that. But then, if it does plummet substantially, then you've not lost all the money. You still managed to pull some out, and you might break even, which is the factor to take into account. I'm always learning and looking at ways to make money online. There are a few people I follow and practices that I put in place, which have been working to some level. If it does work a little bit, then I'll try and see if I can upscale it. If you can make $1 in something, then there's no reason why you can't, quadruple that, 10x it, even 100x it, and upscale. So it's just finding that one product. You have to keep trying new things all the time, moving on. And as I said, take a knock or two. If you can take a knock or two, then that's fine. If you can't, then maybe look at something a bit more less risk averse and less tedious, less hard work in terms of the mental strain. But affiliate marketing is not so risk averse in the sense like the cryptos, because you might spend a bit of money investing in the product itself and a bit of money promoting it, and you've lost it, then it's not a fortune. Whereas you're betting on stocks and shares, in terms of trading it, then that's where you have to have the mindset. Whereas, as I said, I'm more into perhaps holding it, and if I know it's going to go down, especially stocks, then I will sell. But overall, in the long term, they do rise. If we invested in Amazon years ago, for instance, would it be so rich now? But hindsight's always a great thing, but you can just learn, and just see, the way to go from your mistakes. History doesn't always repeat itself, but as the saying goes, it can rhyme. So, we just picked up on the trend. Hello, and welcome to my video, the second part of the video, or third part, depending on how you look at it. Now, I've had to redo this whole video again. Unfortunately, the one I was doing previously got deleted. I don't know how it just did not record properly, so I'm having to redo this video and adding it on, which is a bit of a nuisance, but these things happen. You do a video and you feel really good, and you spend ages perfecting it and putting everything in that you need to put in, and then it turns out that the video didn't record. Oh well, never mind. We'll learn from our mistakes. Hopefully this one will go through okay, and I'll add it on to the other ones. Okay, now I was wanting to touch a bit more on making money online scenario. Okay, I've touched on money systems previously in my videos, but just wanted to reiterate on a few more options that are available for you. Now, one of the options I was looking at previously was CPA, which is cost per action. Okay, is where you get paid for you get paid for somebody that comes to your landing page, and then they're redirected to a CPA offer, which is cost per action. And that person who lands on that page, if they take an action such as signing up for an offer, they could be entering their zip code, email, or postcode rather, or address details. They'll qualify. That qualifies as a CPA, cost per action, and you get paid for that. The only downside with the CPA offer is obviously there are a lot of it doesn't pay so brilliantly, so you have to have a lot of traffic that you drive to that particular offer, and it can obviously take a lot of effort. And if you are looking at using paid ads to drive traffic to the CPA offers, it can work out quite expensive, and you may actually lose money because you might get paid, for example, a couple of dollars for a CPA offer if it's a good one. Sometimes it can be low, it can be like $1.50 for instance. And if that CPA offer, and if the paid traffic that you're using is quite expensive, sometimes it could take a lot of hits. That paid traffic, you might spend $10 and just get a couple of sales, then obviously you are out of pocket, you're in negative straight away. So the thing to focus on then are high-end offers. It's best to go for offers that pay you quite a bit, maybe say $90, $100, up to maybe $500. And then that way, you might spend a bit, but if you do get that sale, then that compensates for the money you've spent already. So that's what I would suggest. CPA offers, the best way to drive traffic from that copy is organic traffic. That's not going to cost you anything, so you promote these offers through social media, or if you have an email list. And also depends on if that company would allow you to email particular offers to your base, your subscribers, because some advertisers do not want you to email their base, so you have to read the terms and conditions very carefully before you venture on that route. But that being said, okay, sometimes you have to email someone a few times. They might not always take up the offer straight away. It can take a few hits just to warm them up, and you can retarget them as well through Facebook retargeting. So they might be in a situation where they've opened up the offer but they're not quite ready to buy, and then you can retarget them at a later date. Okay, and then they'll be more warmed up. Then they'll be constantly seeing your ad. Then they might then be in a mood to buy. Okay, and you can also target the Facebook to say, I'll only target that person, the person that opened up the offer and nearly made the sale, nearly bought, because they are more in a buying mood than someone probably that doesn't follow through with the sale. Okay, so it's more of a warm lead in that respect. Okay, so the other area that will obviously help you a lot with these particular sales are autoresponders. Now, an autoresponder is a system that can be set up to capture people's emails, and also it can be used as a landing page to direct them to a particular offer. So, for instance, I use GetResponse, and if I'm promoting an offer, I'll use GetResponse to be used as a landing page. They will fill in the details, okay, and I will then capture their email, and then they'll be directed to the offer. And that has the added benefit of, if they don't buy with that offer, at least I've still got an email address, and I can then target that person later, and they're on my list. So that email address is of great value to me in the terms of potential future sales. Okay, so that's a double bonus in a sense. Okay, there are places where you can obviously buy lists. There's Udemy, not buy lists as such, but you can promote your offers through other people's email. The site is called Udemy, and Udemy is a very, very good site in terms of the quality of traffic. You can choose people according to how good they are, how their past success, their conversion rates, and if you drill down, it's not always best to choose someone that is ultra cheap, because sometimes the traffic may not be there, the quality may not be good, their email list may not be that good. But if you choose someone who's reasonable, who's had a good track record, but their traffic, their list may be a bit more expensive to mail to, I think in the long run it'll still be more beneficial to you, it'll be more worth it, the conversions will be a lot better. So it's worth spending that little bit extra, okay, to get a better email list, a better response from that campaign. Okay, now the site that I prefer to promote, in addition to CPA offers, I mean, one site I use for CPA offers is Max Bounty. To sign up for Max Bounty, though, there is a bit of a qualifying stage. You have to go through an interview. Well, not an interview as such, but they'll ring you on do a Skype call. Just need to speak to them, just to explain a bit about your experience, what you've done in the past, and just to see if you're a good fit for their company. And you get a campaign manager who works with you, gives you the best offers, helps you out if you need any assistance. And that being said, I do try other companies to use promotions through. One in particular is called ClickBank, which is an excellent company to use. You don't need any prior experience. You don't need to have a track record of selling. You can just go on there, choose a product, and then drill down by gravity. Gravity meaning the company, if a company's got a high gravity, that means that they've had good sales, and that's more likely to convert. But you have to also bear in mind that if it's got a high gravity, and a lot of people have sold that product, that there is a high level of competition. So you might want to take a middle ground, something maybe that's not such a high gravity, but looks reasonable. And things that you can promote are like keto diets, keep fit products, green products, wealth, health, and relationships, which are the traditional products that you can promote through affiliate marketing. They're kind of what we call evergreen. They won't go away, they'll always be around. So that's the route that I tend to go. There's also another more specialist niche that people seem to have a lot of success with, which is woodworking. There's one particular affiliate program on the ClickBank, which is woodworking, Ted's woodworking projects. And woodworking is very popular, and if you could get onto a niche like that, that's just one example. That'd be a good one to target. Okay, that being said, there are many others out there, that you can use, and there's like baking, cooking, there's automobile, you name it. If you're interested in a particular niche, there's something in there for you. Okay. Now, I have done a video previously on ClickBank and going into ClickBank, finding the best offers, and then drilling down via the ratings that I mentioned earlier via Gravity. So if you want to look at that, you can find out some details. Okay, I will be looking to do further videos on that as well to help along with your journey. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, one important area to keep in mind is mindset. Just be positive with whatever you do. Don't let negativity set in. I went for a walk earlier. That's a nice stroll. The sun's out today. It's a bit warmer, so just cleared my head, got a bit of exercise, got the blood flowing, and then it gives me time to think and reflect while I'm walking as well about new ideas, new plans, okay, new ventures, things you can do, and just keep focused. Just look at what's out there, the new systems, new plans. There's lots of information on YouTube. Just look at the latest products and services that are coming out. Obviously, some of them aren't as good as others, but you find an affiliate who is very good, experienced, and he comes out with good stuff, then follow them. That's always a good source of knowledge. People, affiliates that do reviews on products as well, so that products can have some potential. And it does save you having to do the heavy lifting, because you can just follow what they've done and look at their reviews. There's one in particular that affiliate that I follow. It's called Mike from Maine. He's very good. He does a thorough review of the products and services that he promotes. And I trust him because he's honest and open. If the product's not any good, he won't promote it. And when he does promote a product, he'll drill down and tell you the positives and negatives of that product. So that's the sort of thing we want, something objective. Not someone who's just promoting a product for the sake of it, just to make their commission. And then getting you to buy it time and time again, just seeing you as a cash cow. Okay. And just make a bit of time to watch those videos, and quite good and informative. And he'll tell you about the upsells as well. And that's the thing, you've got to be aware some products you will be upsold, and sometimes you don't need the upsell. The front end the front end, which is the first sale of the product, should be able to work generally. If you have to buy an upsell for the front end to work, then that's, to my mind, not brilliant. You could have spent, I don't know, $20 to $30 on a front end product, and then to make it work, you then have to buy another $30 for the upsell, because a lot of affiliates get 100% commission, so the product owner doesn't mind giving away 100% commission on the front end, because he's hoping that you will upsell, and that's where they make their money. Okay, so bear that in mind. Okay, this is where Mike comes in. He'll tell you what, if the product is, if the upsell is needed, the OTO 1, if that's enough, if you need the OTO 2. Sometimes the OTO 2 is just a bit of an added bonus. You don't really need it. Okay, ideally, I will only buy something if the OTO 1 works. Okay, and it can do what it said on the tin. Sometimes the product will only work in terms of what they've said in the sales letter, as if you buy the OTO upgrades, which is, to my mind, not worth the effort or money. Okay, and they'll just try and peddle off some sales letters which don't really reflect the true nature of the product. Okay, so be aware of that. Keep that in mind. That's why I like these online reviews. That will give. In this part of the video, I'd just like to thank you for your continued support of the channel and all the comments you've been giving me in terms of the feedback, which has been fantastic. Some of you have said that the information that's been presented in the videos has really helped you along your journey in terms of financial freedom and tips and tricks and ways to utilize various products and services to get to your ends, which is great to hear. That gives me the incentive to carry on making these videos for you. And as I said, the aim of the channel is to help you achieve what you require in your goals. So it makes me happy to hear when people have success, and I feel happy to relay my experiences and my knowledge and information along the way and give you input. Obviously, I'm not saying that everything that I produce is going to fit you. It depends on what your situation is and what you require. But pick out the things that you think are relevant to you and worth trying. If something's worked for me, then it's a good chance that it could work for you. And what I would say is just keep going, don't give up, keep strong, and just persevere. It's not easy in this day and age to try and achieve what you require. There's a lot of competition. It's very hard. You know, there could be barriers to entry from which area you're living in, the cost, you know, motivation, trying to fit things in the time you've got. But I would just say that the main thing is, if you take anything away, just keep positive. That will drive you through everything, through a lot of adversity. Just having a positive mind, don't let things get you down. Okay, and just read as much as you can. Watch as many videos as you can, educational things. I know we all like to watch a bit of TV now and then, but if you could probably sacrifice a bit of that and just enlighten yourself with a bit of knowledge, that goes a long way as well. And then once you've achieved what you require, then you can fit in a bit more TV. You know, sometimes we have to make a bit of sacrifice. It's called deferred self-gratification, which is something I learned a long time ago. Put off the things you want for now until you are in a situation where you can achieve that luxury further down the road. Okay, else you will not really get there. You'll always be, you know, looking ahead, and then you'll be looking back saying, oh, if only, you know, I made that sacrifice a few years ago, I'd be further on now. So it's just about mindset. That's half the battle, basically, your mindset. Okay, and just keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. And any helps or information you need, just drop me a line, and I'll be glad to help and respond. So it's been a great journey so far, great community, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed producing these videos. If you could show your appreciation by just hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel, that would be fantastic. And if you could share this video with as many people as possible, then obviously we'll be helping more people along the way, growing our channel to an even bigger audience, and then we're all benefiting in that sense. Okay, then once again, thank you for your support, and I will catch you very soon with some more useful information. Bye.